They actually did it. I can't believe it. They actually went for it. They went for the meme. 5+ years in the making has come to fruition.
Now, for your next mission, you two sons of bitches are going to space. I don't want to die!
Well done, Universal. Well done. Alright, so this will be a spoiler-free review of Fast 9. I think it's called Fast 9. Fast 9, F9, whatever 9. This would be a spoiler-free review. I will only cover stuff that's seen in the trailers. And to be honest, there's a lot of weird stuff that they show in the trailers that seems kind of spoiler territory, but nevertheless, if you've watched the trailers, that's most of the stuff I'm going to talk about in the movie. I've been a fan of the series for a while. I got into the series around Fast and Furious 4, even though it's called like just Fast and Furious. It's kind of a weird name. Fast 5 was my favorite, and Fast 5's back must hurt because it's really been carrying the series ever since, because I feel like each next installment has basically been losing gas each time. At least for me personally, even though Fast 5 is my favorite, I started losing interest after Fast and Furious 7. That was kind of like my ending, and I didn't really keep much in touch with the movies afterwards, at least not in theaters. I did go back and I watched Furious 8 when it was released on like Blu-ray, and I have seen Hobbs and Shaw. But overall, I kind of lost interest in the series after the passing of Paul Walker, because Brian O'Connor was actually my favorite character in the series, and while I think they do a decent job of what they can for these movies, coming up with a reason why he wouldn't be there, I still never fully buy it. Yes, I know there was one last ride. Brian doesn't want to be involved with all the ridiculous stuff that they get on with now. But still, he still loves his friends, his family. I don't buy that there's something going on where they need his help that he wouldn't come out of retirement to help them. Anyways, let's get on more with this movie. Movie starts off with Tractor Dom. Yep, off the grid, nice retirement, in somewhat kind of hiding. But the gang gets right back together because they need him for a mission. They get stopped by none other than Dom's missing brother.
And his name is John C.
So there's some new brother that we've never heard anything about that we see in this movie. So basically, the premise is very simple. Dom has a brother. They're after some parts for some take over the world device, and they must stop him. Somehow they'll do it with the power of friendship and, of course, family. All the action that you normally expect is still here. It keeps getting more and more ridiculous. The scene from the trailer where Dom uses like the rope bridge to zip around a mountain is more ridiculous than I expected even from watching the trailer. Like, it makes stuff that seemed ridiculous at the time from like Fast and Furious 4 seem like they were just doing some ridiculous go-kart trick. It is really hilarious whenever there's like a world-ending crisis, they call, these ex-criminals to help save the day. Like, don't get me wrong, they are badasses. They know how to fight. They're good. But like, they send them with, just some kind of military gear, and Dom still just shows up with his white t-shirt, and somehow that's enough. It's ridiculous that it is enough. It also reminds me, I'm actually out of uniform. That's a little better. My love for 10-second cars has just skyrocketed ever since I put the shirt on. So, anyways, Han's in this movie. No one's gonna believe me, by the way, when I say this, but when I saw the trailers for Fast 5, I fully believed that they were gonna have some retcon or some change to where Han escaped, and that's how he was in Fast 5. When I was watching it, I was really surprised that they went the route that this was still before Tokyo Drift. And I really thought they were going to go the route that, like, hey man, I'm good at disappearing, starting over, and that's my specialty. That's why you guys called me here. At least for, when they were recruiting everyone for Fast 5. I had no idea that, like, nope, still before Tokyo Drift. I kind of dropped it after Fast 5. I was like, okay, I guess Tokyo Drift's still going to happen. And then, it did. And now it didn't again. I don't know, the explanation, I'm not going to go too far into details, but the explanation just seemed very convoluted, and just to have him back. And I really like Han's character, don't get me wrong. He was probably either like my second or third favorite character, Brian being my first favorite character. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, I like his character a lot, but what is he doing here? And I kind of felt that way in the movie too. I felt like they didn't really utilize him very well. I was kind of disappointed that if they're going to go all the way and bring this character back. Like, make him matter, make him count. And I felt like he was just kind of there, unfortunately. Okay, no surprises here. Fight with
John Cena.
and Dom takes place. And I was a little disappointed, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, Vin Diesel is a badass. I don't know, just he's fighting John Cena, and I just didn't buy that John Cena is like gonna really struggle too much with Dom. I don't know, it was kind of surprising. One of the things I really liked about this movie that was kind of surprising was they kind of go back and kind of like, discuss some of the history with Dom and his brother. And surprisingly, I found myself really invested in learning this history between the two of them. I don't know, like anytime we kind of got to learn more about the past, I actually felt like myself actually caring about this history between these two brothers and learning more. It's kind of funny, like it almost seemed like anime where we're getting some flashbacks and history about some characters. It was in some context. It was actually really nice, believe it or not. Also, this scene's in the trailer. I'll show it real quick. Whoever made a prediction that, this is live action anime, well done, because I felt like this is just the beginning of the intro popping up right here. Yeah, so Mia's in this movie. It's interesting because, like, on one hand, I feel like how do you really justify having her in this movie without having Brian? I know you can't have Brian in this movie, but it just feels weird that, like, hey, I'm here helping you guys doing these crazy missions, but my badass husband can't be here for some reason. I don't know. I just really missed Brian's character in those movies. I feel like my personal investment like really started to go down after Fast 5 just in general, and then after Fast and Furious 7, I was just kind of personally kind of a little more done. I will say the good thing is I did like Mia in this movie, even if I don't fully buy that Brian wouldn't somehow be involved. I just kind of forgot. Like, I remember seeing the trailers and I was like, oh yeah, it's Dom's brothers here, John Cena. I just kind of forgot that, oh yeah, Mia, that's her brother too. Overall, it was good that she was in the movie. I actually kind of liked her role in the movie, even though it kind of makes it to where when I see her character, it automatically makes you think of Brian, and it just makes me sad. Overall, like, this movie, it is like really dumb. I know that Fast 5 and even Fast and Furious 4 were ridiculous and had a bunch of nonsense, but they really, if like each movie they just keep upping the nonsense, and I'm curious what level it's going to get to the point where people are just had enough. I was entertained by it, but I didn't really like it that much. It's just, I'm happy I saw it. Hell, I'll probably even watch Fast X and see, they call it Fast X or Fast 10 in theaters when it comes out. But when Fast and Furious 5 came out, I remember being so pumped for Fast and Furious 6, and then each movie, as it keeps going on, I find myself less and less invested. And with this movie, I just kind of left feeling like, yeah, it was dumb action. I was entertained, but I'm not really looking forward to the next one now. I'm just like, when it comes out, I'll probably see it, but that's about it. Also, what year does Tokyo Drift even take place in? Because, like, you can see it in the trailer. You know that Sean and Bow Wow are in this movie. I think if I'm getting my timeline correct, it should only be, like, 5 years from Fast and Furious 7 from when, Dom raced Sean, which took place at the end of Tokyo Drift. But from this movie, and yet, I mean, man, they look like they're paying mortgages, not, kids who just, 5 years out of high school or something. Wow, like, Tokyo Drift really did just come out like, 14, 15 years ago. And we're still playing it off like it's, just a few years later. Overall, this is a dumb action movie. I'm not nearly as invested as I used to be in the series. And unfortunately, I give it just a meh, underwhelming 6.4 out of 10. For my reviews, if I kind of feel like for the most part, a 7 or higher is something that's worth most people's time to see in theaters. A 6 is if you're a fan of the series, I'd say maybe go for it. Otherwise, I would probably not bother going to theaters to see it. Oh, and they got a new toy for this movie. They got
Magnets! Oh!
Yep, that's right. They got magnets, and they're having a lot of fun with them in this movie, and I actually kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's ridiculous, it's dumb, but I enjoy it. Also, I know this was established in Furious 6, but man, like, anytime someone falls from something and they can just use a car to catch him as if the car is like the softest thing imaginable, we're like, oh no, I'm gonna fall on the ground. I got it! Comes in a car, lands on a windshield. A-okay. I am Kenjamin Button. Thank you for coming to my talk.